If you are a newer data freelancer or perhaps a business owner and you're thinking about hiring in order to help manage the work inside your business, then consider yourself warned. There are some super duper costly mistakes that are really, really easy to make. And so in this quick video, I'm going to break down what those mistakes are and what they can end up costing you. Be sure to stay to the end because that's where I'm going to break down what most of the risks are associated with making poor hiring decisions. For the very best data leadership and business building advice, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when a new episode drops each week. Also, I just want to take a moment to shout out to the community. Thank you for all of your support, your likes and comments and requests for content. It really keeps me going and keeps me inspired in this channel, so thank you very much. And in case you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Lillian Pierson and I support data professionals to becoming world-class data leaders and entrepreneurs. In terms of why I'm creating this video now, well, I'm hiring. I have been way too busy with the rewrite for the 3rd edition of my book, Data Science for Dummies, and it's taken up most of my year. So I'm actually working to bring in a data science product developer. By the way, we have a launch party coming up in September for the book release, and you're more than welcome to be part of that. If you'd like to join, just check there's a link in the bio for launch party. You can sign up there. But for now, I just want to teach you a thing or two about hiring for your data business from the collection of lessons I have learned from hiring for my own business over the last 8 years. If you're building your data business the right way, then you're going to see fast client growth. Growth like my student here, Jordan Meyer, who started out our program in January and has already used it to land $50,000 worth of contracts in the last 6 months, 6 of which were for $500 per hour. Now he's looking to use our methods to make another $100,000 in the next 6 months. And so, of course, in order to make that happen, he's going to need to hire help for his business. So I'm making this training as if I was making it just for you, Jordan. And congratulations on all the results you've been getting. You have earned them. And I'm so excited to be part of your journey. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you exactly what not to do when hiring people to support you in your data business. Now, I'm going to use some of my missteps from over the years in order to illustrate the points that I'm making on things not to do. The number one thing I would say that you don't want to do is do not throw a half-baked project onto Upwork and then hope to hire someone to basically finish the project plan for you and then implement it. First off, half-baked job descriptions scare off good candidates because they know better. They know that you're just up there to get something done really fast and that it's not going to be a long-term relationship. So don't do a half-baked job description. And also about the expectation that you can find a freelancer on Upwork who's going to finish your half-baked project idea and also implement it for you. That's really unrealistic. So if you're paying a consultant $300 an hour, then you can probably find someone who can do strategy level project planning and then implement for you. Yeah. But if you're hiring someone for like $20 an hour, don't expect them to be able to put together a great, technical strategy or any sort of strategic plan for your project and implement it, because people who can do that type of work are just not going to be selling their services for $20 an hour, even if they are in the Philippines. So how do I know? Because I made that mistake. In terms of what it ended up costing me, I got a CRM that was built inside pretty much a piece of crap type of technology, and so it was completely unusable to me. Oh, and for this one, I spent $5,000 in services fees paying this guy to make this plan and implement it for me, and it was just completely unusable. $5,000 over 5 months, I believe. And then I had to spend $1,000 worth of my own time cleaning up after him because nothing he provided me was actually useful at all. So the total cost of this mistake for me was $6,000. Actually, this is a great time to hear from you. I would love it if you would tell me in the comments below what type of hiring mistakes have you made in the past. I promise I will respond and I'd love to get to know you. Mistake number 2, don't expect to be able to hire reliable people for $4 an hour. Yes, you can hire people for $4 an hour or even a lot less through Upwork and any of these job platforms. But the thing is, time is money. Now, you're going to spend time hiring this person and then onboarding them, teaching them your processes and getting them ready to do the job. And then if you hire them for too little, then you can definitely expect that you're going to be spending your time, 1, checking their work, 2, trying to get them to fix their work. You can also expect that you're going to incur reputational risk, which is actually can be costly, very costly to your business. And this sort of thing happens if you hire someone who's then interacting with your clients or interacting with the public and they just don't know how to speak in your brand language, or maybe they're not native English speakers. And so it comes across as really low quality, reflects poorly on your business. In terms of the mistakes I have made in this department, back in 2017, I hired a 20-year-old computer science student in Pakistan. Actually, she really did mostly okay, but in the end, I couldn't keep working with her only because I couldn't scale my business with a freelancer like that. She just wasn't reliable enough, and I spent too much time following up to see if stuff was done and then checking. And actually, I was going to move her up and pay her more and more, but she wasn't able to meet the reliability standards that I needed in order to just depend on her so that I could work on other parts of my business. What I have found is if you want to hire someone who is a one and done, who you can hand things over to and expect them to get done on time and the job done correctly, you need to at least pay $8 an hour. Mistake number 3 is that you do not want to hire 5 or more people at one time. Please don't do this. Every time I hear someone say, oh, I just hired 10 people, I cringe because I know what that's going to look like on the back end of their business, and it is a cluster. The thing about hiring is when you hire someone, you have to spend a lot of time not only making the hiring decisions and vetting the individuals and picking the right person, then you have to onboard them. You've got to spend time doing quality control and revisions request. Now, if you make a good hiring decisions, hopefully it won't take too much time to do those latter points. Unless you have a project manager who is going to manage that individual after you've hired them, you don't want to hire more than 1 or 2 people at a time, because then if you do, you won't be able to have any time to get your own work done. You'll be so busy trying to manage these people and oversee these people that you'll really get nothing done yourself. I've made this mistake a few times actually. So every time I get a really big contract, I bite off more than I can chew in terms of work. Then I think, okay, I need to hire someone. I need to hire people to help me run my business or deliver on other projects, and so that I can work on this new thing. And inevitably, it always ended up a huge mess and way more frustration than I needed to deal with. In 2014, I was doing the digital nomad thing. Now I live on an island in Thailand, but before I was living in Peru, in Cusco, and I had so many people I was managing while trying to do my own work that I literally made myself super sick. Unless you have a project manager and a process in place for onboarding people where it doesn't require your time, try not to bring on more than 1 or 2 people. But the good news is if you make quality hires, then you can work with these people, your team members, long term, and then you have resources on file or available to you when things pick up in your business. You can just tap someone that you already have, your partner basically, who you've been working with. They can cover a basis for you and you don't need to spend time onboarding them and all this stuff. So that's the importance of making good hires and spending a decent amount of money, is the fact that you can then have these people available to you on an on-call basis when you need them, or actually full-time or part-time in your business. So I actually do all 3 to support Data-Mania today. And then that's really what it should look like, is you should have a network of people helping you support your business. And these aren't people that are coming and going. These people are long-term business relationships of things you can delegate, people you can delegate things to and get them done properly. They know your standards and you can work together for years and years. It's wonderful, but it takes a while to get there, which is why I'm saying just spend the time hiring the right people, the right type of freelancers in the beginning. You can save yourself a lot of headache in the future, and don't hire more than 5 people at one time, because then you'll just end up frustrated with everyone and probably firing them all and losing a lot of money and a lot of time. In the end, what it really comes down to is you have to think of hiring like you're starting a new relationship and not think of it like a one-night stand. Now, if you are digging all of this real talk on hiring to bring in team members to support you in your business, then I know you're going to love this video I did right here on how to build a $450,000 per month data business. I'll leave a link to it in the description below, as well as the cards in this video. Bringing me to mistake number 4. Don't hire randos. Just say no to randos. So you do not want to hire just random people on the internet that put together a good application and seem like they know what they're talking about. You really want to do a good bit more work investigating and getting to know the person before you make the hiring decisions. Why? Because a good application could just mean that they're really good at marketing. And especially if you're hiring someone for more money, you may think that that means that they're going to do a better job, but actually they could just know what their skills are worth in Western economies and be charging accordingly. In fact, I found that the best workers are the one they undercharge, and the least reliable people workers, the not so good workers, actually overcharge. So it's really a nuanced thing. You have to really kind of spend time getting to know the person and also looking at what they've done in the past. And just because they can write an amazing application that tells you everything that you want and it is very convincing, don't just accept that they actually know what they're talking about and are worth the amount of fees they're charging. So when I did this, I hired an administrative assistant from the Philippines for $20 an hour, which is a lot. And his application was really good and it looked like he had experience in something relevant. So I gave him a shot. He got in there and he was a quote unquote self-starter, which is generally pretty good, but he ended up just making a bunch of really important business decisions on my behalf without even consulting with me. For example, he set up intercom for our business, which is intercom is better for if you have a software as a service or something where people are submitting tickets, but it can get really costly. And I had to go out and source the technology we really needed, which was Help Scout for, collaborating across emails. So I had to actually end up sorting that out myself, but not without a million notifications, literally tens of thousands of notifications on everyone's phones that was connected to our Google account. It was really horrible. And then he went ahead and set up email through Google Business, and he didn't ask me about what I wanted to name the mailboxes. So he named one of the mailboxes communication@data-mania.com. But in America and I think Western countries, it should be communications with the S at the end. He just put communication. So that's already been operationalized. The email address, if you want to reach us, communication@data-mania.com. People are going to, of course, be emailing to communications because that's the industry standard. And he didn't know that. And he didn't ask me. So, I ended up paying him quite a bit of money for us to work together. He had no mind for budget and appropriateness. So because he used intercom in the past, he thought, oh yeah, I should just give this new client intercom, but actually it's totally different business model. Trillions of notifications, lots of headaches, lots of time wasted. And then in the end, he ghosted me, of course. So I would say in terms of what it cost me about $10,000 of my own time. And then I paid him $1.5 thousand. So, I guess it wasn't so much for him in terms of costs that I spent on him, but in terms of cleanup, and he made irrevocable errors. So the communication at Data-Mania, it definitely just was not even worth it at all. And I actually paid him a very good rate for the Philippines. So just be careful hiring people just based on a good application is what I'm saying. As a little present for staying to the end, we've gotten to the point where I'm sharing the stay to the end bonus. Now I'm going to be breaking down most of the risks associated with making bad hires. And you're probably maybe thinking to yourself, well, isn't all risk financial risk, Lillian? And yes, indeed, it really all does boil down to that eventually. But there are different ways that you can incur financial risk within your business. So it's worth it to kind of break it down and look at what those are in order to have a measure of control and avoiding those mistakes and risks. So in terms of compliance risk, there's all types of compliance risks. Things that come to mind for online businesses and data businesses involve copyright infringement, licensing issues, data privacy risks, and people just stealing your data. All of these things aggregate risk inside your business, and risk can eventually turn into huge financial losses. So be careful for compliance risks. Make sure to get business insurance. And also, if you have any question, consult your lawyer because I am not qualified in any way to give legal advice. The next type of risk is reputational risk. So this risk looks like perhaps someone you work for has an improper treatment of your customers or uses brand language that misaligns with your branding or your brand value. Maybe even someone could steal your email list and go nuts spamming your customers, saying bad things about you. I have had people who work for me go kind of crazy if I let them go for poor performance. So I never had them do this, but you do have to keep in mind that people can be crazy. So protect your email list, protect your customers, and also, ultimately, if you hire a bad guy, that person can come along and just steal your branded social media accounts, which can be quite a loss to your business depending on how you're using social media. The third type of risk is, of course, financial risk. And we talked a lot about time being equal to money. So this really all comes down to time equals money. So you're going to spend, for each new hire, you're going to spend a lot of time hiring that person, onboarding them. Then if they don't do a good job, you're going to have to ask them to fix their work and then checking QAing their work. And this one can, amount to a lot of lost financial risk for you and your business because your time is worth a lot of money. If you hire someone to support your business in a technology capacity or in a data capacity, then if they're not great at what they do, you're going to have to spend a lot of time reverting their changes. And so that's why it's important to make good hires. Lastly, there's operational risk. So that's like when you hire someone, waste a bunch of money, and they just produce produce unusable technology, like the example I provided, or they choose the wrong technology and attempt to operationalize it in your business, like the Intercom Help Scout example, or they just make irrevocable errors that are going to stay with your business for years. So you want to avoid this type of risk as well. What it really comes down to is if you hire the wrong people or too many people, you're going to end up thinking to yourself, it would have taken me less time and less money just to do it myself, and I would have been a lot less frustrated. So I don't want that for you. And if you like this video, the next video I have coming out on this topic is the only 3 steps you'll ever need to hire great team members for your data business. That's coming out next week. Also, we have a Facebook group, and inside there, I have left a sample job description that you can use to pattern after in making your next hire. So you can get to the Facebook group through a link in the description below. If you like learning about all the people mistakes you want to avoid when hiring for your data business, then you're definitely probably going to be into avoiding technology mistakes as well. So that's why I want to invite you to download our Data Entrepreneur Toolkit. And that is a collection of the 32 very best tools and processes we use in my business to hit the multiple 6-figure mark. Also, these are the best tools I've uncovered after growing an online business for 8 years. And so I give you recommendations to those in the toolkit, which you can download through the link in the description below. Additionally, there's that Facebook group I was telling you about, becoming data leaders and entrepreneurs. I would love to see you in there. The link is in the description below as well. Oh, and if you like this video, be sure to show it some love by giving it a thumbs up and tell me in the comments below what you would like me to create content around next. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you'll be first to know when the next episode drops.